Amaka was a beautiful young woman, who was married to Chak, a rich businessman, well respected in society. He was the type of man every woman prayed for, handsome, God-fearing, hardworking, and above all, he loved Amaka with his whole heart. From the very first day he saw her at a wedding ceremony, he told his friend, "That's the woman I will marry." True to his word, he pursued her with seriousness. He didn't play games or waste time. In less than 1 year, they got married in a big, colorful wedding that shook the whole of Amaka's village. People kept saying, "Amaka is blessed, oh. She found herself a real husband." Marriage was sweet for them. Chak spoiled Amaka with love, gifts, and respect. He always introduced her proudly to people as "my queen." But they had just one issue. After 1 year of marriage, Amaka wasn't pregnant. At first, they both brushed it aside. Chak would hold her hands and say, "My love, don't worry. Children will come. God's time is the best." Amaka would smile and nod, but deep inside, she had started feeling worried. Soon, people began to talk. You know humans, once a married woman stays 1 or 2 years without pregnancy, tongues will start wagging. Neighbors began whispering. Relatives started asking questions. Friends of her mother-in-law, Mama Chak, began putting fire. For the first few years, Mama Chak was pretending. She would smile, call her "my daughter," and even pet her in front of people. But deep down, her heart was boiling because no grandchild had come. By the 4th year, the pretense ended. Mama started coming to Lagos frequently, unannounced. She would arrive with bags of yam, palm oil, and fish from the village, but she didn't come because she loved Amaka. She came to monitor. Anytime she entered the house, she would start scanning Amaka from head to toe. "So this your flat stomach is still like this? Are you carrying stone inside?" 4 years, Amaka. 4 good years. What is all this now? Amaka would keep quiet, but tears would already be gathering in her eyes. One Saturday morning, it was as if Mama woke up with anger. She stormed into the kitchen where Amaka was cooking. "You this woman, I have had enough. Do you think marriage is all about fine clothes and wearing gold? I married you into this family to give us children, not to sit down here and be eating my son's money like goat." Amaka was shaking. She dropped the spoon she was using and begged, "Mama, please. Don't talk to me like this. It's not as if I don't want children." But Mama didn't allow her finish. She carried the pot of soup and poured it on the floor. "Nonsense. You are eating and growing fat while my son has no child. Look at your mates, they have given birth to 3 or 4 by now." That was the first time Mama tried to chase Amaka out of the house. She dragged her box from the wardrobe and threw it outside. "Pack your things. Go back to your father's house. Leave my son alone." Amaka sat on the floor crying uncontrollably. Neighbors gathered. Some begged Mama to calm down, others looked at Amaka with pity. When Chak came back that evening and saw his wife sitting outside crying with her box beside her, he almost ran mad. "Mama, what is the meaning of this?" he shouted. Mama looked at him without fear. "I said she should go. Chak, this woman is wasting your time. Do you want to grow old without a child? Marry another wife, let her give you children. This one is barren." Chak's body shook with anger. "Mama, don't you ever call my wife barren again. Who are you to chase her out of my house? Did I complain to you? Amaka is not going anywhere. And let me warn you, Mama, if you cannot respect my wife, then you better stop coming here." Mama was shocked. She couldn't believe her son was standing against her because of a woman. She hissed loudly and said, "You will regret this stubbornness. No woman can love you like your mother." That night, Chak held Amaka as she cried. "My love, stop crying. As long as I am alive, nobody will take you away from me. Children will come. I don't care if it takes years. You are my wife, and you are staying." Amaka's heart melted again, but the words of Mama kept ringing in her ears. "Marry another wife, she is barren." Things got worse. Mama started spreading rumors in the village that Amaka was a witch who tied her womb. She told people, "This girl used juju on my son. That's why he cannot marry another wife. If not, why is she the only woman he sees in this world?" Whenever Amaka and Chike visited the village for Christmas, the shame was unbearable. Women would whisper, children would point fingers, and some bold relatives would ask her directly, "Sister Amaka, when are you giving us twins now? We are waiting." Oh. Amaka would just force a smile and walk away, but inside, her heart was bleeding. It became a constant battle. Mama insulted her, humiliated her, poured water on her clothes one day, and even locked her outside once when Chike traveled. If not for her husband's defense, she would have been crushed long ago. Yet, despite all the pain, Amaka never disrespected Mama. She would kneel to greet her, cook for her, wash her clothes, and still call her Mama. People wondered how she endured such humiliation. But deep inside, Amaka was praying, fasting, and crying to God day and night. She believed that one day, God would answer her. By the 6th year of marriage, Amaka had already developed thick skin, but Mama kept finding new ways to break her spirit. It started with small insults. Then it became louder insults in front of visitors. Later, it turned into public disgrace. One Sunday afternoon, after church, Mama followed them home. Amaka had prepared a nice pot of jollof rice with chicken. As they were eating, Mama dropped her spoon and looked at Amaka. "Amaka, rice and chicken, you can cook it well. But to cook a child, you cannot. What a useless woman." The food almost stuck in Amaka's throat. Chike banged the table. "Mama, enough. Stop insulting my wife." But Mama only hissed. "If you like, defend her from now till tomorrow. When your mates are carrying their children to church, you will be carrying plates of rice." From that day, Mama made it her duty to embarrass Amaka in front of neighbors. One hot afternoon, Amaka was washing clothes outside when Mama stormed in. She shouted so loud that the whole street gathered. "You barren woman! What are you still doing in my son's house? 10 years, nothing. Get out." Amaka tried to ignore her, but Mama was not done. She carried a bucket of water and poured it all over the cloth Amaka was wearing. Neighbors gasped. Some begged Mama, others just stood, watching the drama like film. Amaka froze, water dripping down her body. Her chest was heavy. She wanted the ground to open and swallow her. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she whispered, "God, why me?" Chike returned that evening and met his wife still crying. When he heard what happened, he almost collapsed. He rushed to his mother's room. "Mama, what is your problem? Why are you tormenting my wife? What has she done to you? Did she tell God not to give her children? Do you think you can force God's timing?" But Mama refused to back down. She shouted back, "You foolish boy. You are under her spell. If not, how can you allow a barren woman waste 10 years of your life? By now, you are supposed to have a son running around this house. But you are defending this thing." Chike's face darkened. "Mama, if you ever call my wife barren again, I swear I will stop you from entering this house." That night, Amaka cried bitterly again. She told her husband, "Maybe Mama is right. Maybe I should just go. I can't keep being a burden to you." Chike held her tightly. "Don't ever say that again. You are my wife, my blessing, my everything. If anybody is a burden here, it's my mother, not you. Please, my love, don't let her words break you. Our miracle will come." But Mama was not ready to stop. The next time she visited, she went to the extent of locking Amaka outside the house when Chike traveled for business. Amaka had gone to the market that evening. By the time she returned, the door was locked, and Mama refused to open it. She stood outside with her bag of foodstuffs, tears rolling down her face. Neighbors gave her a chair, and she sat there till nightfall. It was shameful. People were whispering, "See how her mother-in-law disgraces her. Why is she still in that house?" The pain was too much, believed God would not put them to shame forever. Still, as each year passed, the humiliation increased. Mama even went as far as bringing another woman from the village, claiming she had found a fertile wife for her son. That day, Amaka almost fainted. Mama stood proudly and said, "Chike, this is Tina. She will give you the child this barren woman cannot give you." Enough of this nonsense. Chike shocked everybody. He looked Mama in the eye and said, "Mama, take that woman back to the village. I am not marrying another wife. I am not divorcing Amaka. Period." Mama almost collapsed from anger. "You will regret this, Chike. You will regret it." But Chike stood his ground. Amaka's respect for her husband grew deeper that day. But her pain also grew stronger. Because while her husband was fighting for her, she was fighting with shame, disgrace, and endless tears. By the 7th year of their marriage, the whole family had started talking. It was no longer just Mama. Aunties, uncles, cousins, everybody now had something to say. At family meetings, Amaka became the center of discussion. They would whisper among themselves, some loud enough for her to hear. "No, oh, so all this Chike's wealth cannot buy him children. This woman don't tie him. Ordinary to give birth, she cannot. If not me, I for don't marry second wife since." The words were like daggers in Amaka's chest. Many times, she would excuse herself, go inside, and cry into her pillow. One particular family meeting ended in chaos. Mama stood up and addressed everyone. "My people, I cannot keep quiet again. My son's life is wasting. 7 years of marriage, no child. Is that one marriage? This woman is deceiving us. I say it again, she is barren." Everybody turned to look at Chike. They expected him to agree, or at least keep quiet. But Chike shocked them. He stood up, his face hard. "Enough. I will not sit here and watch my wife insulted again. Amaka is not barren. She is my wife, and I love her. Children or no children, nobody will separate us. If you people don't like it, too bad." The hall went silent. Then Mama banged her walking stick on the floor. "Chike, are you choosing this woman over your mother? Are you?" Chike didn't flinch. "Mama, I am choosing my wife. I married her. I made vows before God to stand with her in good times and in bad. And I will keep those vows. Nobody, not even you, can change that." There was uproar. Aunties started shouting. Some uncles hissed. One bold cousin said, "Chike, no woman they control you like this. This is shameful." Chike looked him dead in the eye. "If being controlled means loving and respecting my wife, then let her keep controlling me. I don't care. But let it be clear today, Amaka is not leaving my side." Amaka, who had been sitting quietly with her head bowed, burst into tears. Her husband's words pierced her heart with fresh love. She couldn't believe he was willing to stand against his entire family just for her. When they got home, she knelt down in front of him. "My husband, God bless you. You have stood for me when even my own family has given up. May God stand for you." Chike lifted her up. "Amaka, don't kneel for me. Kneel for God. Because it is only Him that will give us our miracle. I am just doing my duty as a husband." But Mama was not done. She began spreading more rumors in the village. She told people Amaka was a witch. She said Amaka tied Chike's destiny, that's why he couldn't marry another wife or send her away. The gossip reached Amaka's ears. Even when she went to the market, women would point and whisper, "See the barren one." At night, Amaka would cry silently beside her husband. Sometimes she would whisper prayers, "God, if you will not do it for me, please do it for Chike. He deserves to carry his own children. Please God, don't let him suffer because of me." Chike always sensed her pain. He would pull her close and say, "Stop blaming yourself, my love. It's not your fault. We are in this together." By the 8th year of her marriage, Amaka was already exhausted. She had tried everything humanly possible. She visited hospitals, ran fertility tests, and even drank some herbal mixtures relatives recommended. Each time, The result was the same, nothing was wrong with her, nothing was wrong with Chike. Medically, they were fine. Yet, no pregnancy. It was like a mystery. She prayed. She fasted. She joined women's prayer groups. She sowed seeds in church. Sometimes, she would go to the altar and kneel for hours, crying, "God, remember me. Please, remember me." Yet, month after month, her period came like clockwork, mocking her prayers. The pressure was unbearable. Whenever she visited her own family in the village, some relatives would look at her with pity, others with scorn. One even told her to her face, "Amaka, you better find solution or don't go and waste your life in another person's son's house." Amaka went home that day and wept till she almost fainted. By the 9th year, her faith was shaking. She would lie on her bed at night and ask, "God, is it that you hate me? What have I done to deserve this shame? Are you hearing my prayers at all?" Sometimes she thought of leaving Chike, just to free him from the insults. But every time she mentioned it, he shut her down. One night, she said, "Chike, I think I should just go. Mama will never stop until you marry another woman. Let me save you from this disgrace." Chike jumped up from the bed. "Amaka, don't you ever say that again. You are not going anywhere. Do you want to kill me? You are my life. If you leave, I am finished. Don't ever think of it again." Those words gave her strength, but deep down, she was still breaking. Then came the 10th year. Mama had intensified her torment. She would barge into their house without notice, insult Amaka, scatter the kitchen, and even slap her once during an argument. Yes, Mama slapped Amaka. That day, Amaka had cooked food and mistakenly put too much salt. Mama tasted it and exploded. "So you cannot give us children, you cannot even cook ordinary food well. Useless woman." Before Amaka could apologize, Mama gave her a hot slap across the face. Amaka staggered back, tears rushing out. When Chike heard, he almost ran mad. He confronted his mother again. "Mama, if you ever lay your hands on my wife again, I will not forgive you. Do you hear me? Enough is enough." Mama hissed. "You will regret this stubbornness. You will know who your mother is." Amaka spent that night on her knees, crying to God. "Father, I can't take this anymore. If you will not do it for me, do it for your name's sake. People are mocking you through me. Show them you are still God." Neighbors were already gossiping. Some said she had offended the gods. Others said she must have committed abortion in her youth and was now suffering the punishment. But through all the tears and shame, Amaka refused to curse God. She kept holding on, even with weak faith. It was the 10th year of Amaka's marriage, the same year she was fasting and praying harder than ever. But it was also the year Mama decided to disgrace her openly once and for all. One hot afternoon, Amaka was sweeping the compound. Mama had just returned from the village, carrying Gary and palm oil as usual. She dropped the load, sat down, and began to watch Amaka. After a while, she hissed loudly. "So this is what you are good for? Sweeping. Cooking. Sitting down eating my son's money. 10 years, Amaka. 10 good years. Not even a miscarriage. What kind of useless woman are you?" Amaka's heart caught, but she bent her head and continued sweeping. Mama stood up, walked to the bucket of water Amaka had fetched, and before anyone could stop her, she poured the whole bucket on Amaka's body. The street went silent. Children stopped playing. Neighbors gathered immediately. Mama folded her arms. "I am warning you for the last time. Pack your things and leave my son's house. You are not a wife. You are a curse. You are barren." Amaka stood there, drenched, her wrapper soaked, tears mixing with the water dripping down her face. Her broom fell from her hand. She couldn't speak. She couldn't move. One neighbor, Mama Nkechi, rushed forward to hold her. "Huh. Mama Chike, this is too much now. This girl is somebody's daughter. Why will you disgrace her like this?" But Mama backed back, "Leave me. If it was your son wasting 10 years with a barren woman, would you be laughing? Don't teach me how to run my family. Amaka broke down completely. She ran inside, locked the door, and cried until her voice cracked. She cried so much she almost lost her breath. When Chike returned that evening and heard what happened, he was furious. He stormed into Mama's room. Mama, why? Why are you doing this? What did Amaka do to deserve this kind of humiliation? If you hate her this much, then you hate me too because she is part of me. But Mama only hissed. Chike, you are a fool. You are blind. This woman has tied your eyes. 10 years wasted. 10 years. When will you open your eyes? Chike shook his head. If this is how you want to continue, then I will have no choice but to stop you from coming here. I will not allow you to destroy my home. Enough. He left Mama's room and rushed to comfort his wife. He found Amaka still on the floor, weeping. He knelt beside her and hugged her tight. My love, please don't let Mama's words kill you. I know it's hard, but believe me, God has not forgotten us. Please, hold on. Just a little longer. But Amaka was tired. She looked at her husband with swollen eyes and whispered, Chike, I don't think I can do this anymore. My strength is gone. Those words pierced his heart. He kissed her forehead and held her even tighter. Amaka, listen to me. You are my strength. If you give up now, I will break. Please, don't give up. Our miracle is closer than you think. That night, Amaka cried herself to sleep. In her dream, she saw herself carrying a baby boy wrapped in white cloth. She woke up sweating, confused, and trembling. For the first time in many years, a tiny spark of hope flickered in her heart. Could it be? Was God about to answer her after all these years of shame? Amaka tried to forget everything about conception and childbirth. She poured her energy into her catering business, baking cakes and supplying snacks to schools and offices. But something strange began to happen. She noticed she was always tired. At first, she thought it was stress from work. Then food smell started irritating her. Her favorite egusi soup suddenly made her nauseous. Even the scent of fried plantain, which she loved so much, turned her stomach. One afternoon, she fainted while arranging trays of puff-puff for delivery. Her neighbor, Auntie Rose, rushed her to a clinic nearby. The nurse checked her and smiled knowingly. Madam, when last did you see your period? Amaka frowned. It came last month, or wait, the month before, she paused, counting with her fingers. Her eyes widened. Jesus Christ. It's been 2 months. The nurse chuckled. You are due for a test? Let's check right now. Amaka's hands shook as the nurse carried out the pregnancy test. The minutes felt like hours. She closed her eyes, her heart pounding like a talking drum. Finally, the nurse handed her the strip. 2 bold lines stared back at her. Positive. Amaka screamed. Blood of Jesus. Is this real? She burst into tears, kneeling right there on the clinic floor. God, is this how you work? After 10 years, just like that. She rushed home, clutching the test strip like gold. When Chike returned from work, she met him at the door. My husband, she cried, shaking. God has done it all. I am pregnant. Chike froze, staring at her like she had spoken Greek. What did you say? I said I am pregnant. She showed him the test strip. Chike dropped his briefcase, lifted his wife high in the air, and spun her around like a child. Jesus. 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 He screamed until tears rolled down his cheeks. Amaka, my love, our God is faithful. 10 years, and He never forgot us. That night, they couldn't sleep. They prayed, sang, and wept tears of joy. Amaka kept touching her stomach, whispering, my baby, my miracle baby. But news doesn't hide for long. Mama Chike soon heard. Instead of rejoicing, she scoffed. Who knows where she got that pregnancy? After 10 years, she just woke up pregnant. I beg, I don't believe until I see the baby with my eyes. Her words cut Amaka deeply, but this time, she refused to let bitterness enter her heart. She had carried pain long enough. She told her husband, I will not allow her words to steal my joy. God gave me this baby. That is enough. Pregnancy was not easy. She had morning sickness that lasted all day, swollen feet, and dizziness. Some nights she couldn't even sleep, but each time she looked at her belly growing, she smiled. It was the evidence of God's faithfulness. When she went for a scan and heard the baby's heartbeat for the first time, she broke down crying again. So this is what mothers hear. After 10 years, God has counted me worthy. Chike pampered her like an egg. He cooked for her, massaged her feet, and even washed her clothes when she was too weak. His friends mocked him, but he didn't care. This woman carried my shame for 10 years. Now she carries my miracle. I will honor her. The pregnancy grew, and Amaka's story began to change. Those who once mocked her started to greet her with respect. Neighbors whispered, God truly answers prayers. Women in the church pointed at her as a testimony. And Mama Chike. She was restless. The same woman who once poured water on Amaka now began sneaking into the compound, pretending to check on her son but secretly staring at Amaka's baby bump. Her pride was slowly crumbling. The day Amaka entered her 7th month, she placed her hand on her stomach and whispered, Lord, the same way you started this miracle, finish it for me. Let no evil hand snatch my joy. By the 7th month of Amaka's pregnancy, the whole community already knew her story. It was on everyone's lips, the woman that waited 10 years has finally conceived. Some people celebrated her, others gossiped with envy, but one person was restless, Mama Chike. The same woman who had called her Barren, insulted her, and even poured water on her, now found it hard to sleep. Each time she saw Amaka's stomach growing, her heart burned. One afternoon, she came to the house, carrying a sour face as usual. She met Amaka sitting outside, picking beans. Amaka greeted her warmly, Good afternoon, Mama. Mama hissed and sat down without answering. Her eyes scanned Amaka's swollen belly. Finally, she said, So, it is true. After 10 years, God finally remembered you. But who knows if this baby will even stay? Some women carry and lose it halfway. Amaka's heart shook, but she kept her calm. Mama, God who started it will finish it. This baby will live to glorify His name. Mama clicked her tongue and turned away. But deep inside, her arrogance was crumbling. 2 weeks later, during a family meeting, one of Chike's uncles looked straight at Mama and said, Mama Chike, you see. You almost destroyed your son's marriage because of impatience. If Chike had listened to you, by now this miracle would not have happened. The whole family murmured in agreement. Mama's face burned with shame. For the first time in years, she had no sharp words to reply. When Chike arrived, he added salt to her wound. Mama, I told you. Amaka is my wife. If I had abandoned her because of your pressure, I would have missed this joy. Next time, keep your mouth away from my marriage. Neighbors too started talking. That woman that used to insult her daughter-in-law, see her now. God don't shame her. Slowly, Mama began to change her tone. She started coming to Amaka with small gifts, fruits, yams, even baby clothes. One morning, she entered the house shyly and said, Amaka, take this palm oil. It is good for pregnancy. Amaka was shocked, but she smiled and collected it. Thank you, Mama. Chike noticed and whispered to his wife later, Don't be deceived. Mama is only behaving because she is ashamed. Amaka nodded. I know, my husband. But I won't repay evil with evil. If God has humbled her, who am I to mock her? Her humility touched Mama more than anything else. One evening, Mama sat beside Amaka and sighed deeply. My daughter, forgive me. All the things I did to you, all the insults, all the times I poured water on you, it was foolishness. I thought children were by human effort. I didn't know God gives them when He pleases. Please forgive me. Tears filled Amaka's eyes. Mama, I forgave you long ago. All I ever wanted was your love. Mama broke down crying. Thank you, my daughter. May this child bring peace to this family. From that day, her attitude changed. She began defending Amaka in public, the same way she once disgraced her. When other women teased, she snapped at them. Keep quiet. Do you know what 10 years of waiting feels like? Leave my daughter-in-law alone. She is stronger than all of you put together. Even neighbors were surprised. The same mama who once mocked Amaka was now her protector. Truly, God had humbled her. As Amaka's 9th month approached, Mama became restless in a new way. She followed Amaka to every antenatal visit, carried her bag, even massaged her swollen feet. People laughed, saying, "See how the mighty has fallen. God is wonderful." But Amaka didn't laugh. She only lifted her eyes to heaven and said, "Lord, you have started turning my shame into testimony. Please, perfect this miracle with a safe delivery." The 9th month came with its usual pressure. Amaka was heavy, moving slowly, her swollen feet refusing to fit into her normal shoes. Yet every time she looked at her stomach, she smiled through the discomfort. This was the evidence of God's faithfulness. Chike became extra protective. He didn't allow her lift anything heavy. He insisted on driving her to every clinic visit himself, even if it meant abandoning meetings. "This is our miracle," he always said, "and nothing will go wrong." Mama too had transformed completely. The same woman who once mocked Amaka now hovered around her like a nurse. She boiled hot water for her baths, cooked pepper soup, and stayed alert every night. She was determined to witness the baby arrive. Then one night, around 2 a.m., it happened. Amaka felt a sharp pain shoot through her waist. At first, she thought it was normal discomfort, but then another pain followed, stronger this time. She gasped and grabbed Chike's arm. "My husband, it's time." Chike jumped up like hot water had poured on him. "Jesus. Time for what?" Amaka groaned. "Labor." In minutes, the whole compound was awake. Mama ran around shouting, "Nurse! Midwife! Somebody help, oh, my daughter-in-law is in labor." Chike rushed her into the car and sped off to the hospital. His hands shook so badly that the steering almost slipped, but he kept muttering, "God, please, remember your promise. Don't let me lose her now. Don't let my enemies laugh." At the hospital, the nurses quickly wheeled Amaka into the labor ward. Chike and Mama paced outside, sweat pouring from their foreheads. Each time Amaka screamed from inside, Chike's knees weakened. Hours passed. The nurses came out twice to reassure them, "She is progressing, but it's not easy." Mama held her head. "God, have mercy. 10 years of waiting must not end in sorrow." Finally, after almost 12 hours of travail, a loud cry pierced the ward. A baby's cry. Chike froze. Mama froze. The nurse rushed out, smiling. "Congratulations. It's a baby boy." Chike fell to his knees right there in the corridor. Tears gushed down his cheeks as he shouted, "Jesus, thank you. After 10 years, you remembered me." He rolled on the floor, unbothered by people staring. Mama too burst into uncontrollable tears, lifting her hands to heaven. "God, I mocked this woman, but you have put me to shame. Forgive me, Lord." When they brought Amaka out, tired but smiling, she carried the baby gently in her arms. "My husband," she whispered, "meet our son, our miracle." Chike kissed her forehead. "You are my queen. You carried my shame and turned it into glory. God used you to silence our enemies." Mama knelt before Amaka, crying uncontrollably. "My daughter, forgive me. This boy will live to honor you. I called you Barren, but you are the mother of nations." Amaka, weak but joyful, nodded. "Mama, it is God's doing. Let us rejoice together." News spread quickly. The same neighbors who once mocked her now gathered at the hospital to rejoice. Songs of praise filled the air. Women danced, Men clapped, children ran around shouting, Auntie Amaka has born pikin oh. When they finally returned home with the baby, the compound was filled with people bearing gifts. Drummers played, women ululated, and the atmosphere was electric. Amaka named her son Chisholm, God is with me. As she cradled him that night, she whispered, Lord, I will never forget. 10 years of waiting, 10 years of tears, and now joy has come. May this boy be a testimony that you never fail. Her husband held her close, their baby lying peacefully between them. Our story has just begun, he said softly. And indeed, it was a new beginning. From mockery to miracle, from shame to testimony, from barren to mother, Amaka's life became a living proof that God's time is the best.